Hey friends, so this is my worship journal and this is the second layout in it. I'm going to create this for the song by Jeremy Riddle called More Than a Friend. And I love this song. It's a beautiful, slow worship song with a fantastic intro guitar that just leads you into worship. And here the elements I'm going to use. Now, first of all, I want to tell you I love to use pockets. So I know I'm going to put a pocket element there. But before I do, let me keep the book open. I'm going to put this clip there to keep the book flat and open so I could stick everything down. And then we can begin. So, the song by Jeremy Riddle is a song about Jesus being more than a friend, more than a helper, more than anything you could ever imagine and think about. Whatever you need, Jesus is it. He is everything. So, which is why I love him, which is why I desire to know him more, because he has certainly been to me a friend, a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, a helper, a healer, and everything. So, I wanted to make this page a little bit delicate because of how delicate and beautiful this song is. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my pocket element on there. So I'm going to use this little insert to sort of make sure the entire paper isn't stuck. And then I'm going to layer some doily lace on there. So what I have is these small, I think it's 4-inch doilies, and I cut it in a half, and then I layered it on behind. You can see right there, that's like a pattern paper. So now that that side is done, I'm going to decorate the other side. So I'm going to take out some more of the elements that I have. And so how do I choose these elements? Well, for this particular journal, I'm going to go by color scheme. So I'm going to do some peachy creams and some light greens, some pastels, which is very, very new to me because I love these deep dark colors like this, but I don't think this is going to work. So I'm going to toss that aside and and try something lighter. So nothing too heavy, nothing too grungy or vintage like what I'm accustomed to. Just something really light, pastel-y, black and white. So that's kind of like this particular worship journal, or at least I should say these particular songs that I'm working through. So I collected a couple of things that I wanted to use. I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do before. In case you want to know, like, I didn't plan it out, I didn't lay it out first and then come on here and do the video. I just decided that I was going to use these elements and try to figure out how to put it on there. And I didn't want to have too many things to choose from. So I just put some stamps, some flowers, some pieces of paper, and was like, well, okay, let's see what we can do with that. And that's my technique of creating a layout. Just getting stuff, putting it together, and then deciding, as I go along, how it's going to look. And it's never going to be perfect. It doesn't always come out the way I would want it to, but it comes out pretty good, and I'm always pretty happy with the end result. So here I put down some flowers on there, and then I am going to put down some black and white shrub. If you can see that, the camera can't really zoom in there. So this here that I put is a picture that I found from a magazine. So I love to use these pictures from magazines because these are travel or plant magazine or lifestyle magazines that I love to use. And I like to use them because they're real, number one. So that's the biggest reason I like to use them. And they really get to look at too. And they're absolutely beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to trim this off right there and try to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this. I'm thinking to do some layering, but sometimes too much isn't good, especially if the colors are really muted already. So maybe I wouldn't do that. Let me just stick that right there. And I really want this journal to be just really delicate because of the song. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in between the space that I'm creating. So I should say, if it's called negative space, I'm going to write in between there. So I didn't like how that looked, so let me move that. That's a good thing about this particular glue. I'm using this Amazon basic cheapo glue, which doesn't stick well. So luckily for me, I can just lift up and remove and put somewhere else. Ah, that butterfly looks really nice there. And I have some washi tape. Let's see how that's gonna. I mean, I love washi tape, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. And so I'm gonna put my real flowers on there, which I've been drawing forever. And I think that's it. I'm always trying to do something else, to put something else, to add something else. But sometimes you just have to leave it as it is, and that's kind of it. Just make sure that the pocket is there and the little paper can move in there, and that's it.
In the stillness